They're cheesy and far-fetched. So why do people love them so much? Large audiences in London are flocking to see the return of kung fu and horror movies. So, of course, we sent Tiffany Gardner out to get this.
Today's horror films are more likely to be dripping with blood than with irony. If you're a fan of horror films, particularly grindhouse films, then you're in for a treat. I sat down with Vagrancy Films owner James Balkowski to find out why he decided to bring grindhouse back to the big screen.
The reason I wanted to bring these grindhouse films on the big screen is because we saw a need of these kind of films that they weren't being shown in the London area. So we thought it'd be nice to rent out a local theater and play these films for fans of these kind of movies. Directors like Quentin Tarantino have made these movies popular again, so we're trying to capitalize on the interest in these movies. Our fan base is pretty much split right down the middle in terms of male and female. We find that most of them are younger, 21 in age, that type of area, and they're usually into kind of punk rock, heavy metal, the goth type of scene seems to be our primary audience. Grindhouse film is a type of movie that would be played in primarily an independent theater to kind of, it was a way for a mom and pop movie theater to show a movie and still make revenue that they couldn't normally play, like they couldn't afford a movie that Warner Brothers or another big studio was showing. So they would play a movie that was made for a low budget but delivered a high amount of action and entertainment value, and they would play that in their cinema instead. Yes, we do have an age restriction for our shows. We do not let anyone in under the age of 18. Some of the movies we played have been a PG-13 range, but due to their pre-show, which involves trailers and contests and prizes and things like that, we found it's best to eliminate the minor market entirely and have 18 only. When we do a screening, we offer prizes before the movie starts, and what that usually involves is via record gift certificate, or we've offered clothing, or we've even had bigger prizes like DVD sets, and some of the studios have even been so kind as to give us prizes as well. And what happens is the people in the audience come up and they usually do a contest, like we've had dance-off, limbo contests, you know, gymnastics, all kinds of things that these fans are willing to do to win these prizes. And it adds another element to the show that you wouldn't normally get at your average movie theater. When you go see a screening, one of our screenings, you'll notice that the audience is not quiet. We encourage loud and rowdy behavior within reason. We don't allow them to do anything, you know, outside of normal rules in movie theater, but they do yell at the screen, they get involved, they freely wander around. There's all kinds of shenanigans sometimes going on in front of the stage and back, and it adds a totally different element to any screenings that I've been to or haven't seen in London ever. So that aspect is very different about it. Our shows are always $10, which is a little bit higher than your average movie, but because these films are extremely rare, we spend a great deal of time and funds to obtain these prints and the permission involved, because a lot of these studios are based overseas or they're no longer in business, so the research involved to locate who needs to be, you know, compensated is time consuming. So we do have to charge a little bit of a premium pricing, but we feel the value of the show that we give is more than fair to justify that price. We were amazed by the turnout, to be honest with you. When we first started doing it, we thought there would be me and my partner Cliff in the theater. So when we did actually, you know, open the doors and they were paying customers, it was a great relief and very exciting for us. So we treat this as very grassroots in that regard. Like all these people are our friends, and we're kind of like this little club. That's how we look at it. You know, so I'm grateful for that.